Hello and welcome, football fans, to another exciting edition of Locker Room right here on Voice of the People TV, your one-stop program when it comes to the beautiful game, and I'm talking about football. Well, of course, today I again will be standing in for Jerry, who is unavoidably absent today, and I can tell you for free that he is definitely trying to get all of the right passes right, and of course, like the Kevin De Bruyne that he is, we must get those goals and score those passes. But I'm not alone. James is here. A very good evening to you.
Good evening to you, David. Another very beautiful evening to talk about football. And we are here waiting for the Super Eagles. Officially, we know the training starts today, and we are waiting to get more pictures and what videos from that sport. And we are seeing our players returning, at least at the third time, a very good time for them to be here. I think good news also to Osimhen, finally securing a deal out of prison. out of a place he would have not loved him to see himself for the next 1 year, and I'm happy for him. He was able to secure a move, and a very good place as Galatasaray, a very good move also. So it's actually a very good day to talk football. Let's see what the day brings.
All right. Well, again, we'll let you know that you can be a part of this conversation by calling, or of course the numbers are on the screen if you really want to call and have your voice heard on the show. And you can also be a part of this conversation by, of course, dropping your comments on our YouTube comment session. And yes, if you're not already following on YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. So your comments is important. We will read them out right here on the show. And like I said, you can call as well. Who knows? Your voice should be heard. And we're not also alone. I'm not alone on this part of the game. Maiwa is also on the other side. Maiwa, a very good evening to you.
Thank you. It's always amazing to be here.
Yeah.
Finally, Galatasaray saved Osimhen, saved him from starting a career as a YouTuber. I mean, it's good that he'll be having some football to play.
Why people not just trying to cut Osimhen some slack? How Melzy?
I mean, I'm really happy for him. No, playing football with Galatasaray is better than playing no football at all. I mean, it's a good move for him, and he'll be able to jumpstart his career. Today's another day to see what NFF has in stock for us again. I mean, we are waiting for how they will drag us in the mud today. But in any case, like I always say, it's a good Tuesday to talk football. Thank you for having me.
So why are you anticipating NFF to give us another movie today? I mean, why are you not believing that we might just not be talking the NFF today? Why?
I mean, NFF, they are like the promises of God. They renew it every morning. So I mean, I won't be surprised if they have something.
For now, I think the NFF will show better lay low. I don't want to hear anything concerning from the NFF till after this qualifiers, because any noise we get from the NFF is going to be a distraction to the boys. Yes, they are distracted already. They were coachless for about 7 months. Going into 2 important matches as the Afcon qualifier, they are still coachless. Interim manager Iguavon, what does he bring? A man that has not coached for over how many years? What is he going to be bringing to these boys? So I think the distraction is already there. We don't need another one from the NFF. Let the NFF be quiet. At least till after this international break, after our first 2 matches, then we'll come back to them. Let's see what they have in stock for us. But for now, let them just chill where they are.
Oh, well,
and focus on the boys.
Speaking about the NFF, a certain Roberto Landi, an Italian who is also a coach, did make mention that he also applied for this job, but was not contacted by the NFF up until this time. In fact, he said his agents and, of course, the members of the NFF have not spoken to him at all. And that goes to give some football-loving Nigerians some level of worry, because as it stands, if we cannot, I'm not using we, if they cannot, I'm talking about the NFF now, if they cannot manage paperwork, or should I call it administrators kind of business, how then and why are they still in the glass house? I mean, over 500, like they told us, over 500 coaches applied for that job, and one of them is Italian coach Roberto Landi, who said that up until this time, they've not been contacted. And he also made some very interesting statements about the Bruno Lambadia issue, he said that he's wondering why the NFF reviewed a man that they've finally not agreed contracts with. Isn't that a shame on the part of the NFF? Myra.
Well, definitely, it's a shame. I mean, we have said it over and over again. It just doesn't make any sense. How do you reveal a coach you have not agreed with? And coming back to the issue of application, I mean, they said over 500 people applied. I myself, I applied as a joke, and I didn't get any response from them. I mean, I applied just to see if the NFF are competent enough, just to even deem it to respond to me that I'm not able to get the job or whatever it is. There's been no response in terms of those that applied, and that's the reason why the Italian guy is coming out to say this. I mean, see, the thing is, we said yesterday that these guys, they continue to embarrass us internationally. I mean, another person from Italy is saying what we said yesterday. It doesn't make any sense that you come out to announce somebody you have not agreed terms and conditions with, and you say you've already employed the guy. I mean, sorry, I'm digressing again to the issue of Osimhen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy that let's assume that Galatasaray announced that Osimhen is their player in early July, whereas they've not spoken to Osimhen, and they've started unveiling Osimhen, even giving him a jersey, and just so that the kind of embarrassment that will follow. I mean, that's the same thing the NFF are doing. I don't get the logic behind announcing somebody you have not agreed a contract with, and you feel it is nice for you to drag Nigerians in the mud for us to be able to do that. It's just unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation, and it's good that foreign guys are beginning to call them, and probably maybe they will be able to put their house in order and not drag us through this month. It's just so unfortunate that we have people who are incompetent running our football.
Interesting. Now, this same person we're talking about, I'm talking about Italian coach Roberto Landi. His papers, his CV carries a former manager of Livingstone and Royal Unon St. Giolis, and his voice is concerned, really. In fact, in his words, he said, despite assurances from his agent, he has not received any communication from the NFF since submitting his application. I mean, to even say, okay, we don't receive your application.
The fact that my wife even applied, they don't even know my wife.
That's another interesting part. My wife, you applied. We don't know.
As we told us that people will have campaigned for him.
We would have done this campaign for you.
We would have done like a banner, put on all our shows, vote for my wife, be dragged.
Oh, no.
He didn't tell us. Now it has passed.
I mean, the thing is, I applied as a joke. I just applied as a
joke.
I'm
coming
to see. Do you know the funniest thing? When you apply, you even get a notification. You even get an acknowledgement that you have applied. It's as bad as that. And the fact that they even drag us into the mud for putting a national team job, putting it online, and letting everybody apply. It's even a joke myself that I've never coached before. I don't have a coaching license. I just said, let me see what these guys are doing. Let's even test the portal that they say this up. When you apply, you don't get a simple response telling you don't get an email notification telling you have applied. You just applied, and that's just the end of it. It shows, we've said it over and over again, the incompetence in the NFF leaks to high heaven, and we are seeing it play out again. Coming back to the issue of the coach saying the agent does not, nobody has reached out to him. To be honest with you, if you apply for a job, in as much as it is best practice for the employer to reach out to you and tell you whether you are successful or not, the NFF is not under any obligation to reach out to him. So if he's expecting the NFF to reach out to him, probably, in as much as we know they are incompetent, I don't think the NFF owes him any courtesy of reaching out to him. He's applying as just like everybody else applied. If he doesn't get the response, it means the NFF have not yet gotten to him, or they have not yet reviewed the CV, or better still, they are not interested in. That's just it.
Another interesting part of this conversation before we move forward is the fact that he revealed that despite assurances from his agent. So that statement, assurances from his agent, simply means that the agent is talking to some persons in the NFF. But then, let's move on. It's one of those things that we see in the glass house. Interestingly, former African Footballer of the Year, Victor Ikpeba, has criticized the current Super Eagles team, citing indiscipline as the biggest problem. Ikpeba made the comments during a Monday Night Football program on a particular platform. And of course, according to Ikpeba, the team lacks unity and respect for their manager, which is contributing to their poor performance. The team's recent results, including a draw with South Africa and a loss to Benin Republic in World Cup qualifiers, have left them second from the bottom in the group. well, with only 3 points from 4 matches. Interestingly, Ikpeba believes that the team needs to improve their performance and get a positive result against Benin Republic in the upcoming match to ease the pressure. While he acknowledges that it won't be easy, he believes that even as it stands, a narrow win will be enough to lift the team's spirit. At this point, Ikpeba seems to be talking tough, saying that there is no discipline within the team. That's an indictment on every single player that played that game.
I think
those 2 games.
I think I support the fact that there was no discipline in the last 2 games we saw, and I think I'll stand by him with that. But the major issue that I should be talking about at this point is the NFF. I wonder why you go and criticize the boys. That's something that's already happened in the past 2 months.
Right.
I think they are in the past 2 months, and you are coming to criticize them barely a week before an important match as this one. Instead of looking at the board that were in charge for the past 7 months and cannot present them a coach.
Right.
So I really turn a blind eye to the NFF not able to get us a coach and focus on the boys that didn't do well. And let's not forget the performance we had against Benin Republic and also in the last 2 games was also by the NFF. They played this kind of politics and this kind of games until barely 48 hours before the game, and they appointed Finidi as the interim manager. Let's not forget it was the same thing that played out.
Right.
So Ikpeba now come out to say after these first two games of Guavon, they play the same thing. We go back and still criticize the boys, or we criticize the NFF, or we criticize Guavon.
Interesting, but Maiwa, as it stands, this statement, like I said earlier, from Ikpeba seemed to indict the Super Eagles player that played those 2 games, saying that there is no level of discipline amongst the team. A few days into the Nations Cup qualifiers, he's making this statement. Do you think he's right with this statement? And then what does this do to the mentality of the same team that he criticized a few hours ago?
Well, it's very simple. I think Victor Ikpeba is very right. I mean, you saw how the sport minister treated the issue of Osimhen. Osimhen came out and was blasting his coach. And the sport minister came out and said they should forgive Osimhen. I mean, that has set a very bad precedent in the Super Eagles, and any player can do whatever they like.
So now it looks, should we be blaming the players rather than the board and of course the FA that hasn't taken any action all since then?
Well, the thing is the blame can go around.
Okay.
However, see, the thing is the players will take 30% of the blame, while the 70% goes to the NFF. The reason why I started with the players is this: as a professional, even when things are not done right, you as a professional, you have to do your part as a professional.
Right.
The debacle of Osimhen insulting the coach and the rest of that and stuff like that, even the miscommunication was engineered in the NFF. It was not that Finidi George came out and was calling out Osimhen. One particular blogger did it, and I'm very sure it was a miscommunication between somebody in the NFF and the blogger, whatever it is. But Osimhen coming out and lambasting the coach was not right, and the sport minister coming out to backing the coach, which is the reason why I say the sport ministry and the NFF will take majority share of the blame. Yes, they were the ones that caused the situation, brought about the situation. However, as players who are professionals, they are supposed to act as professionals and not, allowing discipline to fester and respect, whoever is in charge, irrespective of we know that we don't have, a concrete body that is running football. That's on one side. On the other side, the NFF got us into this mess, and it's very simple.
Right.
The first of all is this: their actions and inaction shows that they don't give the local coaches any backing. And if you don't have the backing of the board, I mean, the players will be very unruly to you because, I mean, they feel they have some godfathers in the NFF board that will speak on their behalf. Case in point, referring back to Osimhen again and what played out in that particular process. In as much as I would not have loved, Victor Ikpeba coming out to throw jabs at the players, because this is not the right time to do that. We are very close to, a qualifier. Victor Ikpeba is part of the technical committee. Guavon, who is going to tinker the team, is also the chairman of the technical committee. And player power. They can try to band together and try to do whatever and rubbish, Eguavon and the team. So that's the reason why I would have cautioned Victor Ekpeba for making this kind of statement at this particular time. However, what Victor Ekpeba said, it's fact. But Victor Ekpeba should have gone further to apportion the blame properly. 70% goes to the NFF because it's because of the unorganization, the NFF being disorganized. That's the reason why we found ourselves in this mess. Imagine a 78-year-old brand does not have a code of conduct, and we expect people to act accordingly. It doesn't make any sense. There are no rules, and people can act anyhow they want. So 70% goes to the NFF, 30% goes to the players.
Interesting. But as it stands now, do you see the boys giving their all in this particular game?
It's going to be difficult.
Because as it stands, really, before you go further, it's more like a revenge game for the Super Eagles. Having lost to Benin Republic in the World Cup qualifiers, 2-1. And let's not also forget, Genatro is still the coach of the Benin Republic team, who knows this Super Eagles team very well, inside out. Of course,
when you look at the both teams, you say this Super Eagles side is much more improved than what we saw the last time? The answer is no, because the same incompetency, lack of preparation that happened the last time we faced each other is still happening. We're practically without a coach not up to 48 hours before the game.
Right.
This one, the only difference is that Eguavon was there maybe a week earlier. That's the only difference. And it's not like Eguavon is coming with plenty experience. Let's not forget, Finidi was even with working with Pesero for about a year, and also he was the coach for the Enyimba side. So he was still even active in football. When you now compare Finidi and Eguavon that has been in the glass house with the NFF, eating and dining with them for about how many years, and is coming to take a charge of two important games as the Afcon qualifiers. How prepared are we? For me, I've taken, well, as my wife said, I've taken my mind off this Afcon and maybe the World Cup also. If they are lucky enough to say get their house in order and maybe get 3 points, or maybe if they can get the 6 points, well, a good one. But I've practically taken my mind off it. I'm not expecting much. So if they eventually surprise me, a very good one, a very good reason to support them. But the NFF has showed that they are not prepared. So what should we be expecting? We should not be expecting a lot. We should not be expecting that, okay, we are going to face a Genetro side who has been there, who won us when we were looking much better than what we are looking currently, and be expecting results. Maybe the only difference is maybe having a true second in the back, and they might be able to guide the boys on what to do and how to defend better. Right. But going to this game and be expecting a very beautiful football, expecting Osimhen to be scoring a trick, or expecting Boniface to be doing magic, I'm not going to be rooting for that.
Maiwa, the game is this weekend, and interestingly, Genatro is not talking at all. He's only saying within his own space that his team is looking ready to go. But do you see the Super Eagles executing any level of revenge on the Genatro team? I'm talking about Benin Republic, owing to the fact that, like I said earlier, we lost shockingly 2-1 to this same Benin Republic team, even when everybody felt we had some good, very fair set of players. Is there any magic that will happen?
Well, it's very simple. You are giving a spoiled child candy. I mean, if you are giving a spoiled child candy, what do you expect? The thing is, should we win any of these qualifiers, the NFF will think they have arrived. I think the best bet for us to be able to know that we are falling, appointing audio coach in active football for the last 5 years. That's the person we are settling for. Who has been, if we go out and win that particular game, people will jump on the bandwagon that we can do it. However, for us to be able to actually treat the rot in the system and actually find a lasting solution, we need to lose those games and not qualify for the Nations Cup. That's not the severity of our lack of preparedness, to be honest with you.
Maiwa, I dare say that even if we lose those 2 games and do not qualify for the Nations Cup and the World Cup, it still would not change anything, because as it stands, quota system is our major problem, like you've always said. And as it stands now, it's not like we're going to do any magic anytime soon. But then, do you?
Sorry. The beauty of not qualifying is this: we miss out on the World Cup. We are missing out on $25 million that some people in the NFF, the quota system guys, that can that they will sit down on top and do whatever it is. Missing out on the Nations Cup. We take away some few million of dollars away from us. And the thing is because there is money to share. That's the reason why some people who are not fit to even run a local government chairman, a local government council is coming out to contest for the NFF board. If we lose out on these monies and there is no money to run after, probably maybe people who have interest in football, who have genuine interest in football, will probably come out and be able to contest and will be able to move forward. To be honest with you, I will not mind if we don't qualify for any major tournament in the next 3, 4, 5 years. To be honest with you, so that we can get these people out. If there's no money to share, it's not interesting for them to come out again.
Some of us will not want to share this, like me personally. I want to go to the US and cover the games. Nobody will sponsor you if your team is not playing in that game. So let's not go there. Let's not go there at all. Anyways, let's let you know as well that. But then before we move to this, you said something earlier. The NFF would be the ones, if we win these 2 games, they'll be the ones at the exciting end of, yes, we have gotten it right. How about Austin Eguavoen? If he wins these 2 games, isn't it worthy enough for him to continue as the gaffer of the Super Eagles going forward? Is that worthy enough? First, I'm going to start with you, Maiwa, before I come to James.
Well, it's very simple. The honest truth is this. If they consider him worthy enough, we will not be doing the rigmarole we have been doing for the past 7 months. That's just the honest truth. I don't think they consider him to be a very top coach or to be somebody that can deliver, the kind of quality that we want. Yes, in as much as the NFF is incompetent and the rest of that, I don't think they count him worthy enough. If they are counting worthy enough, they would have offered him the job. Since Finidi left, they would have offered him that job. They are giving him this job now based on the fact that it will be very shameful that we line up and we don't have a recognized coach on the bench. That's the reason why they are giving him this job as a last resort. And if somebody says it's your last resort, it means the person is not enough quality to be your first resort. So basically, that's the reason for that. Even if he wins, I don't think they see enough quality in him to be able to take us further. And that's the reason why they've not offered him the job since. So whether he wins it or not, it doesn't change the fact that they don't see him as somebody that has the quality to be able to take us further.
So in other words, it's looking like we're still sticking with the foreign coach. What's your take?
Let's not forget this particular NFF have never been they have never wanted a local coach. We have established that fact in the past. Even before Finidi came into the picture, they never wanted a local coach. They have been on the move always looking for a foreign coach. Not for
France to UK.
For France to UK to London. Also, there was a particular time in London, and they said a particular coach wowed them with building a team around a 30-year-old Balogun. So we have seen that the local coach has never been in the picture. If not, they will have settled for somebody in the league and in Nigeria or somebody in Africa to tinker this team. But as it stands, they are not in for that. Let's just be prepared for after these 2 matches. We'll be on the move again. Maybe we'll go to Spain. We have gone to what was the last place with Germany with Bruno Lambadia. Now we'll go to Spain and maybe we have gone to England also. Let's not forget.
It's a good tour.
It's a good tour. Just that they are doing that with taxpayers' money. If they are doing it from their own personal account, they will have gotten a coach since the first week that Pesero left. All
right, let's move forward from there. The Super Eagles at this time are set to begin their training session in Uyo today. Of course, they've started the training already. In fact, we have Phyllis that some of the players are already doing 1 or 2 training sessions. According to the team media officer, Promise Efoge, the training session will be open to the press, but there will be no interviews with the players. And that is where we have, of course, been told that a press conference will be held with the players at the hotel on Thursday after lunch, and the team's training session on Friday will be open to the press for 15 minutes. The rest of the training session will be closed. The team's media officer also announced that Moses Simon and Alassane Yusuf will arrive in Uyo later today, bringing the total number of the players to 16 of them in camp. Interesting times. Maiwa, it's looking like the boys are ready to go, even though we know Victor Osimhen will be joining them maybe later tonight or tomorrow morning as it stands.
There is nothing we can do right now. It's just for us to just hope for the best. And like we usually say, we are playing these qualifiers on vibes and inshallah, and that's just the honest truth. The preparation we've put in shows that we are not serious. Whatever it is that we get, we should just accept. However, the guys assembling is a good one. That majority of our heavy hitters majority of them are trooping into the camp, and probably maybe that will lift the spirit a bit. Yes, I think we should have enough quality to be able to do something. However, I'm not expecting a spectacular game from our boys. Osimhen is coming from a backdrop of the nightmare that plagued this transfer and the rest of that. Probably, filing out for the Super Eagles will be a good respite for him and be able to get his head back into the game before heading back to Galatasaray to start his slow move. However, it's a good one that the camp is bubbling. Let's see and hope that the boys will be able to do anything, because I don't expect the coach to be able to impact or infuse anything impactful in this couple of days. I just hope the boys will be able to raise their game and give a good account of themselves, whether we lose or we draw or we win. I just hope they're able to raise their game and give a good account of themselves and allow us to watch good football.
All right, now 16 players in camp, James, at this point.
I think it should be more than 16. It should be more than 16 at this point, because we got the news of Tanimu coming in to join the boys.
He just took the cat out of the bag.
Tanimu again.
Tanimu is joining the boys.
Tanimu has joined.
well, let's not forget. Let's not forget there's particular news yesterday. It was yesterday or 2 days ago where he joined the English lower league side.
Yes, Clory Town.
Yeah, a very good move for him. Now he's not a local player. You cannot insult him that he's in Tanzania league.
He's moved from
Tanzania league to the English side also. So congratulations to him on that move.
Clory Town for our national team.
Bro,
Atol, from Tanzania to England. Where is he playing in England? So don't forget.
Where Cyprus was our number 1 before. So
don't leave me.
Well, so a good one for him. Congratulations to him. And I think the boys reporting to camp early, a very good one. We saw the likes of Calvin Bassey and also Ajayi also joined earlier. Now Chukwueze and also Tanimu. I think the most important question is Osimhen. How prepared will he be for this game? Let's not forget the last time he played was practically the end of last season.
Yeah.
He didn't play in the qualifiers.
But he's been training. He's an active footballer.
He's been training alone. Let's not forget. He was not integrated into the Napoli side. He was not training with the boys. I don't think he has had any serious training. His first training might be...
I beg to differ, honestly. The fact that you have injury and you return from injury and you've been training with your team before they push you to
he had about just 1 or 2 training sections with them. Let's not forget.
With the team before they demoted him to the other team, the lower team, and then he started training alone. Maiwa, is Osimhen match rusty? Should we depend on Victor Osimhen going into this game? Because, hey, as it stands, we need all of the arsenals that we can get to get this 3 points.
And well, I think, and I want to talk to Osimhen directly. I think this would be a part for him to be able to humble himself. Yeah. What he did during the Finidi era was not just it. Now he needs Nigeria more than Nigeria needs him, and that's just the honest truth.
Right.
He will need the Super Eagles for him to be able to get match fitness and just all that. And that goes, and I'm directing this to him, humility pays. There is nothing about puffing your shoulder. You are one move away from being relegated to the background or being forgotten. I'm just happy that he's able to get a move to Galatasaray and he's able to play football and just all that. However, coming to this particular World Cup qualifier, to be honest with you, I don't think we should start him. Irrespective of, yes, he has the quality and he did not get to number 8 in the world by fluke. He worked so hard to be able to get to it. He has a lot of quality. However, at the moment, he's match rusty. We know the kind of unpreparedness that has plagued our preparation. We should not be fielding, we should not be starting a player that is a bit match rusty. If I were to be the coach, I would, involve players who have been much more involved with their club, who have been playing week in, week out, who are in football match shape. To play that particular game. They'll probably introduce Osimhen 20 minutes to go and just probably integrate him into the team gradually and not put all your egg in the basket of Osimhen, because to be honest with you, in as much as he's training and the rest of that, it should not be the same thing as training with the team or playing match and being full match ready. At the moment, I don't think he's fully ready to play a full match. So I'll probably be playing him for just 20 minutes. I'm
just happy that, funny enough, we have good replacements for him at that point, at that position currently. We have Awoni, who had a very good season.
Who also is just returning from injury as well.
At least he participated in Nottingham Forest preseason, and he has had a couple of games this season.
Yeah.
We also have Boniface also participated in Leverkusen's preseason, and also currently he played about 2-3 matches for their side before coming to camp.
Yeah.
So I think we have a fair number of players who can come in and start the game. Like Mayo rightly said, he's rusty. You cannot just give him 90 minutes at this point. I'm sure he himself cannot even run 90 minutes.
But there will be some issues here. So
he might come in from the bench, get 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. But you will not expect a player who has not played for about. These are actually a very long period of time, about 3 or 4 months. And you expect him to just get into the game and give you 100%.
Well,
player, it's not right to do that as a player, and even the coach is taking a big risk. What if he gets injured?
Right.
What if he gets injured? You go start Osimhen first match in about 3 months.
Anyways, still talking about Osimhen, let's let you know that Victor Osimhen will travel to Nigeria later today for the Afcon qualifiers, and we have it on good authority that yes, he has left Turkey and most definitely would be joining the Super Eagles later tonight or at max tomorrow morning in the Uyo camp. Let's also let you know, still talking about Victor Osimhen, that he's parted ways with his agent, Roberto Calenda. We hear after failing to secure either a move to Al Ahly or Chelsea. Now, the striker's personnel negotiated his loan move away from Galatasaray to help him, of course, get his intermediary, George Gardy. This is interesting. Yes. Victor Osimhen letting go of Calenda.
I think you watched one of the episodes of our show where we spoke. There was this particular episode we complained about Nigerians and having poor agents. Because I see no reason why the eighth best player in the world, an African best player of the world, will be finding it difficult to secure a move out of Napoli.
I mean, I think it was really disturbing.
We spoke about that. We're like, these players tend to have good potentials and always end up having a poor agent that don't do that. Who is Calendar? We have which player does he manage except for Osimhen? I think it's the right move for him, cutting trust and ties with him, and able to secure a move for himself too. And let's not forget, it's actually a very good deal. Yeah. He has a clause that he can leave. If a club comes for him in January, he can leave the club. And also, he has a clause that is with this clause now is about 70 from 130 or 140. Yeah. So cutting it down to 70 is actually a very good one, and still earning his full salary at this point from Galatasaray and also Napoli. It's actually a very good move for him.
Maiwa, at this point, Victor Osimhen sacking Calenda, his agent, and of course the intermediary that did make this Galatasaray move happen is George Gardy. Do you see any positivity going forward when it comes to representing Victor Osimhen, the current African Footballer of the Year?
Well, I think Victor Osimhen should come and pay his homage to locker room. I was one of those that first of all said he needs to fire his agent. The agent is not serving him well. And I also advise all African players to, and also Osimhen should go for that. He needs a proper PR team. I think the people doing his PR, they are not doing enough work. He needs a proper PR team. They'll be able to blow his trumpet where nobody's even seeing him. Right. And that's how he'll be able to get in the face of everybody. I think it's a good one for him to fire Calendar. We've said it over and over again. I was one of those that said it. How can the African best footballer of the year be struggling to get a move since the close of the season? Since May 31st, when the season closed. It took about 4 months before he was able to even secure a move to Galatasaray. It was not even facilitated by Calendar. It was facilitated by somebody else. So it's a good one for him that is firing Calendar. However, the current agent he is with, I'll probably go and do my research on him to be able to know who he has worked with and just for that. However, going forward, I think he should get one of the top agents. He shouldn't mind the amount the agent will request for. These are the kind of people you need to work with the top agent. Those are people that will make the deal happen, in the bathroom via phone calls. These are people that will use their connection to secure you a lucrative deal. And that's the reason why it's a good one that is firing the agent.
Calendar.
He should now go for that and hire a proper PR team that will probably, push his narrative out there.
Interesting. And at this point, right, let's also let you know that Victor Osimhen was unveiled, sometime in the middle of the night, of course, the timing anyways, and there was a video that circulated of his celebration with Napoli fans, Galatasaray fans.
Yeah, the one that is still in Napoli. We have left you. We are now supporting
Galatasaray
the
fans, after he made that move from Napoli to Gala. At this point, really, the excitement for me was the fact that he has a clause in his contract. Now, that's the video you're seeing. He really did have, I mean, what do you make of this, really, James? This excitement, this, I call it celebration anyways. Like,
do you know what will have happened to
I don't feel finally.
Thank you. Just imagine being locked up, held up. You know it's looking like it might be here for a particular year without doing anything.
Right.
You know what that happens to his well, now that's going to affect his career, his ranking, everything. I think it's a very good one. I was very happy for him yesterday when I got the news that the Turkish league are in for him. And it's not just a small, let's not forget, the Turkish league is actually a very huge league also. They are one particular set of people that love football. We saw them in the Euros. We saw what the fans were doing in the Euros. And let's not forget, I think the season was it last season where the league ended with just 1 point. They won them. Galatasaray were able to win the league with just 1 point against Fenerbahce, and we saw how they took out to the street. The streets were practically crowded with people. So I think the Turkish league is one league that has the buzz also, and it's a place where Osimhen can ball out, can show himself, get the numbers, and put himself on the map again. So people will know that, okay, yes, it's not all about talk. It's also bringing out the results. And I think one major thing that affected his transfer is also last season him not able to replicate what he did in the 2 seasons ago. I think that's one thing that affected his numbers and affected his offers for clubs. But now if he can replicate that in the Galatasaray side, I'm sure it's going to be out there in the map again.
Maiwa, interestingly, Osimhen made some very interesting statements, one of which he said Dries Mertens convinced him to join Galatasaray on a season-long loan deal. That's the one part. He also did tell fans of Gala that they're expecting more and more goals from me. This seems like a major statement from a striker that a lot of persons know can deliver on his good day. Does this really in any way give hope and confidence that Galatasaray would be enjoying the full services of Victor Osimhen, as against what every other person might be saying, that he's not fit enough and he might be not so good as assumed?
Well, the thing is I've said it again. He didn't get to number 8 by fluke.
Yes.
He did not deliver the Serie A title to Napoli after 3 years by fluke. It was when Osimhen came in, that was when they were able to, that was when the title came back to Naples after 33 years. He shows the kind of quality he has. On his day, Osimhen has a whole lot of quality and the rest of that. However, I would, going to Turkey would not have been my preferred destination, because as far as I'm concerned, yes, I'm no disrespect to the Turkish league, very competitive, they are very good and the rest of that. However, I think that's like Saudi too. Because all the players that are done in Europe, that's where they go first before they make their way back to Saudi or before they retire.
But it's better than sitting on the bench in Napoli side.
Definitely.
So I think it's still, and then don't forget they are playing the Champions League.
Yeah, sure. I would take a Galatasaray over Osimhen becoming a YouTuber anytime. I mean, the next career would have been Osimhen becoming a YouTuber, but I'll take a Galatasaray over it. However, the thing is in as much as the league is very difficult, the rivalry between Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, they even brought Mourinho to Fenerbahce so that they can rival Galatasaray and wrestle the league away from them and the rest of that. However, I think Osimhen will be able to deliver. I think he has enough quality to be able to do that. I just hope he's able to regain his form back, the one that brought about the title in the Italian Serie A. Remember, injury plagued the season, and that's the reason why he had a bit of difficulty. And I want to also sound a personal note to Osimhen. Osimhen, this is not the time to start. I mean, I saw this celebration and he was doing this shut up sign and just of that. That was not needed.
That's the celebration. Hey, Mayowa, please. Yeah. That's how they celebrate. It's a way they relate to the fans. I think I saw it in
Hold on.
Okay, look, finish up. Finish up. Allow this boy. Would allow this boy?
Hold on. This I like Osimhen so much.
Okay.
This is not the time to be blowing your own trumpet. This is the time to keep your head down and deliver on the field of play.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are skeptical that they don't think Osimhen can replicate the form, the same form that brought about the Italian Serie A. And I think he still has that quality in him. He just needs to get his head right. He has a very. I would not be surprised if he can replicate that form and make a move to Europe. Maybe in the next 2-3 seasons, we'll be hearing Osimhen competing with the likes of Haaland and just of that for the Ballon d'Or because he has that kind of quality. But this is the time for him to calm down, keep his head down, and do the job on the field, and let the job on the field speak for him.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, still talking about Osimhen, really, I'm going to come to you now. In that contract, his loan move, he has a clause of leaving in January.
Yes.
Now, what that simply means is Osimhen, if he gets a bigger club, he moves. Is this a move by Victor Osimhen to tell the world that I would die and kill myself anytime I get to the pitch of play to get the goals in order for the bigger clubs to see me? Because that seems like the only clause in that contract. Do you see Osimhen replicating anything that he's done with Napoli in the last time out?
No, definitely, yes. I see him replicating himself. I think when you look at the way football is currently, when you are thinking of top nine strikers that will give you numbers,
yes.
I don't think you can call about 5 before you call Osimhen at this point. Where minus the likes of Lewandowski who are currently old. When you are looking at typical number 9s in current football now, I think Osimhen is also around there. And he didn't get to being the number 8 player by chance or by fluke. He didn't get to leading Napoli to their first title in 33 years. Let's not forget, before Osimhen was once their 9, they had the likes of Cavani, the likes of Higuain. They were not able to do that. So credits to Osimhen, and giving him the respect is also one thing. And I also support the fact that Mayo has made mention of him laying low and also showing the result on the field. Not everybody is going to support Osimhen that he can have the wonderful season he had two seasons ago. People are skeptical that he might not be able to pull out those numbers. But I'll be rooting for him, and also for him celebrating last night. You don't expect him to come. People stayed. I think the fans were out till about 3 a.m., 2 a.m.
To see him.
So imagine Osimhen landing at the airport at 2 a.m., seeing a crowd waiting for him, and he just walks in to his boss. Hey, they would cancel his loan that night. So I think him spending time with them, granting one or two interviews, is actually the best way for him to make the place welcome him, for him, cool for him. Because they will not expect people to leave their bed and be up. People that are supposed to go to work the next day and be up to about 2 a.m. waiting for you to come from Italy. And you will now land. You will just walk in to your car and leave. It's like you don't want that load deal to work.
Turkish fans can be unbelievably.
When I realized Turkish fans are not people to be joked with, the night they won the league last season, I think Galatasaray and Fenerbahce were this close to winning the league. I think they won the league with just 1 point. If you see what happened in the street, if you see the big video clips of the street,
it was a major celebration. It was a major festival.
It was looking like when Manchester United won the treble and they were doing
it was a major festival.
I was like, come on,
say that for a
just look at the football culture over here. These are people that love football. And when you go to, come on, you can still remember when Manchester United played them against Galatasaray last season in Champions League.
Yes.
Can you remember what it looks like in their home? Everywhere was practically red. So just look at this particular football fans, their football culture. Come on, it's a good way for. I think it's a good move for Osimhen. First, is collecting his full salary. Second, it's a move that his release cost is reduced by 50%. Let's not forget. His salary is coming in full, and also a way that he can live. Even if he gets the way to move in January, he can move. So it's actually a very good one. Much better than sitting on the bench for 1 year in Napoli. So it's left to Osimhen now. The ball is Osimhen's court. How many goals can he deliver for this particular fans? That's just what's left.
Oh, well, we would be very, very excited if Osimhen can come to Nigeria. Of course, we hear, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, that Victor Osimhen is on his way to Nigeria. And most importantly, he would be landing in Uyo possibly by this night or tomorrow. And of course, speaking about the Nigerian Super Eagles, the interim coach, I'm talking about Austin Eguavoen, has come out in a press conference to say that the Super Eagles must by themselves turn things around. Now, this is coming from a man who is, at this point, careful about the fact that Nigerians are no pushovers when it comes to the beautiful game of football. They know it, they love it, and they will do anything for it. And at this point, Osimhen is saying that, yes, we love football in Nigeria, but the Super Eagles players have all that it takes to be responsible for themselves, and they know what it takes in these going into these two games. Maiwa, your final take about Osimhen's statement, and we'll wrap it up from here.
Like I said earlier, the guys need to raise their game. They need to give a good account of themselves, irrespective of whatever situation the NFF has gotten us. Is their job, when they get to the field of play, is their job to give their utmost best and give a good account of themselves. For them as a professional player and for the country as a whole, because I mean we are going through a whole lot as Nigerians now, like everybody would have acknowledged the news that broke earlier today and the rest of that, and the impact that will have. At least football will take away that pain a bit, and they are responsible for keeping smiles and joy on the faces of Nigeria for the 90 minutes the game will last. So definitely it beckons for them to be able to give a good account of themselves.
Interestingly, James, at this point, Nigerians are going through interesting times. The price of fuel, well, even though the federal government has come to deny that, but the Super Eagles at this point, really, from what Iguavon said, your take?
Iguavon knows that he has a lot cut out for him currently. So I think the only thing left for the boys to do now is just get us a victory. At least 1 or 2 victories will be enough for us to at least take our mind off the sorrows we are facing currently in the country.
Thank you so very much, gentlemen. Maiwa, it's been a pleasure always having you with us on Locker Room this beautiful evening.
It's always amazing to be here. And on a closing note, and this outside football, and this directed to the government, please, propaganda does not run the country. Honesty would always be the way to go. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much, Maiwa. It's a good place to anchor this particular one. And of course, James, thank you so much for being here. All right, we got to go. Let's also let you know that the Chief Executive Officer of Manchester United, Omar Beranda, has said he's giving Erik ten Hag, this is not good news for all three of us, is giving full backing to Erik ten Hag, saying that he's working closely with him, and of course, he's going to achieve the long-term success. Well, all of that we'll wait to see. That's the size of the show. You know, they say time flies when we're having so much fun. David Edwin saying, don't allow this or anything take away your joy. It's about time we go. Thank you so very much for being here. Do have a beautiful day ahead. God bless Nigeria.